Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we have another video from another channel. This time it's Jay Plays. Now, Jay has a heavy focus on solo gaming with lots of videos on games like Mage Knight, Spirit Island, Renegade. So be sure to go check out his channel. We have a link in the description below so you can get over to his channel and see what all he's got to offer. So here we go.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this Mage Knight highlights. Today we're going to go through 5 of my favorite artifacts. So first of all, I got these as honorable mentions. I didn't think it was worth including them in the main 5, just because there's 4 different. So these are the rings. So obviously each one gives you a different color. Blue for sapphire, white for diamond, red for ruby, and green for emerald. You get a nice boost in fame for the basic effect, but then the stronger effect, just having that endless supply of black and then the respective color of mana is incredibly useful. It allows you to be so flexible, even if you don't have like multiple spells of one of these colors. I find just having the endless supply of each color and black mana to be really useful in the final battle. So I thought it was worth mentioning them. Given there's 4 of them, I didn't want to include them in the 5 here. But yeah, so let's get on to the first one. And the first one I chose is Shield of the Fallen Kings. It's not a particularly glamorous card. It obviously doesn't give you any attack or any siege attack or anything like that. But I do find it really functional. You've got, for the basic effect, you've got the block 6 or 2 block 4 against different attacks. So from one card you're getting either 6 or 8 block. Just for the basic effect. It's just really useful to have that. But then the stronger effect I find is where it really shines. Cold Fire Block 8 or 3 Cold Fire Block 4 against different attacks. So Cold Fire Block is obviously efficient against any attack, and it basically deals with all the nastiest enemy attacks. So I'm thinking about something like the Ice Dragons, who have 6 ice attack and paralyze. You've got the Freezers, 3 ice attack with swiftness and paralyze. You've got the Ultimate Mages, 4 cold fire attack, brutal and poison. Like, this card deals with all of them just in one swoop. What else? The Delphana Masters, they also have 5 cold fire attack, paralyze, and assassination. So this card really kind of negates the impact of all those powerful enemy attacks, and yeah, it's one of the strongest cards, I think, and hence why I chose it. So yeah, that's the first one. The second one then is Banner of Command. The basic effect, like, I'm never sad to get this card even early in the game when there are no elite units out. The basic effect gives you a good influence 4 that can be used to for anything you need influence for early in the game. It does give you a bit more flexibility. If you want to recruit a unit, you can assign it to this banner if needed. I rarely do that. The stronger effect then, you get first straight up to fame, so that's always helpful. It can be the difference between leveling up and not leveling up. But then the recruit any one unit from the units offer for free. That's it's just incredible, because I mean, you can use this anywhere on the map. So as soon, like, typically the way I use it, if I get it early, I'll use the influence or whatever during the early game, and then once the elite units start coming out, I'll just keep an eye out on any of the elite units, typically something like the Ultimate Mages. It obviously can't be used for the Delphana Masters because you have to get them through interaction, but any of the elite units I think is generally worth using this for. Obviously you'll aim for the Ultimate Mages if you can, and you can just pick them up from anywhere on the map. You don't even need to be in a city for the ultimate mages, or a keep for one of the other elite units, or whatever. And yeah, it's a fantastic card to know you have that in your deck. And then during the end of round, when you're refreshing the unit offer, if you see one of those strong units coming out, especially if it's the first end of round after you reveal a quartile, you can have the benefit of the unit you pick up for the rest of the game. So yeah, the Banner Command is fantastic artifact. The third one then, Horn of Wrath. So yeah, I mean, this is probably on many people's lists. It's definitely on mine. It solves so many problems. Like, you go into any battle with this, you're going to feel confident. You get a siege attack 5 that takes out a lot of enemies in the like adventure sites, and even like a mage tower or whatever keep. You can just take them out immediately. You don't even need to worry about blocking. The cost to use it as a basic effect is relatively low. You only get a wound if it's black or red, so like it's a 33% chance roughly that you're going to get a wound. And yeah, if you use it as a siege attack, you obviously don't need to take a wound from an enemy, which you might have had to done if you couldn't take them out in the ranged or siege attack phase. You can combine it with other ranged or siege attack phase, or ranged or siege attacks, and use it. Yeah, combine them in the ranged or siege attack phase. You don't need to go through the blocking. If you do that, obviously, if you combine it with a ranged attack, you have to use it against unfortified enemies. And then the stronger effect, you get another siege attack 5, and then you can add up to +5 to that siege attack. Again, the cost I don't think is that great. In terms of like you only have a 33% chance on each roll of picking up a wound, but you get potentially up to 10 siege physical attack. And I like how flexible it can be, so you don't have to use the +5. So if you only need, say, 7, you can break it, and then you'll only roll twice for the siege attack 7. So yeah, Horn of Wrath, never sorry to see that in a choice between two artifacts. So yeah, that's the third one, and then this one is going to be Sword of Justice. This is, yeah, the basic effect of this is strong. You get, obviously, you can turn, instead of playing a card sideways or any number of cards sideways, you can turn an attack 1 into an attack 3. But you also get Fame +1 for each enemy you defeat this turn. So that's obviously a decent bonus. Again, it can be the difference between leveling up or not. The part I really like about this is obviously the stronger effect. You get to double the contribution of all your physical attacks during the attack phase. So it's only during the attack phase. You can't use the doubling in the ranged and siege attack phase. Enemies lose all physical resistance this turn. So not only are you getting double to your physical attacks, but all enemies lose the resistance to the attacks that you're doubling. So it's kind of like a double whammy. So yeah, I mean, like, let's say you're facing, I don't know, like the Ultim Guardsmen who have 7 armor, and they have all 3 resistances, and maybe like an Ultim Mages as well who have 8 armor and physical resistance. So if you were doing physical attack against them, you'd need 15, but you'd need to double that, so you'd need 30 attack to take them out. This, you basically only need 8 physical attack, because you double that physical attack to 16, and yeah, they've lost physical resistance. So and you typically have quite a lot of physical attack. Obviously, like, you'll try to maximize the amount of elemental attack you have as well, but I find like you have plenty of options for physical attack. Like, you've got obviously the rages. If you can power a couple of them, that's 4 each, which turns into 8 physical attack each. You've got your units. This applies to them as well. You've got your skills. Any attack that comes from physical attack that comes from them is also doubled. So that's obviously a bonus. And then, as if that wasn't enough, you can combine it with something like the ultimate mages. So like if you make all your attacks cold fire, you can basically double all your physical attack and then make all of those cold fire attack. So yeah, there's this card can be so powerful. It's basically yeah, it just weakens the enemy so much by eliminating their physical resistance, and then you double all your physical attacks, and then as like the cherry on the cake, you get fame +1 for each enemy you defeat this turn. So that can be like an extra 4 or 5 fame if you're taking on, depending on the city you're taking on. Maybe more if you draw in a rampaging enemy into that battle as well. So Sword of Justice, another one I really like. If you haven't played it, definitely keep an eye out for it and check it out the next time you see it. And then the last one is going to be the Banner of Fear. Yeah, this is again, like the Horn of Wrath, it just solves so many problems, and it is quite flexible as well. So like the basic effect, you can assign it to any unit, and it basically strengthens the unit. Like if you assign it to a random regular unit, who by the end you're probably not really relying on them because they aren't particularly strong, you can basically assign this to them, and then during the block phase you can use that unit to cancel one enemy's attack, and you also get fame +1. So that transforms like a relatively weak unit into something that's quite powerful by just cancelling an enemy's attack. And then obviously the stronger effect, up to 3 enemies do not attack. Obviously this isn't going to work on arcane immune enemies, but typically like by the end, by a final assault on a city, you have like 4 or 5 enemies. Not all of them are going to be arcane immune, so you can basically, you don't have to worry about 3 enemies attacking. So yeah, it's basically it's such a fantastic card, and I think even before it was changed, I think in one of the expansions, it was even stronger. So you can see the old effect on the unofficial Mage Knight wiki page. It might be worth checking that out if you're interested. But yeah, Banner of Fear, definitely one of my favorite cards in the game. Going into the final battle, knowing that you don't have to worry about 3 enemies attacking, it just frees up so much firepower for actually taking out the enemies in the attack phase. And yeah, that is all 5. Let me know in the comments if you have any differences or any other artifacts you prefer, or if you agree and like a particular one. I'd be interested to hear that as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and thanks for joining, and hope you can join again next time.